What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of In the Studio with Darius Fentress. I am your boy, Darius, and I'm so happy that y'all are here for another time spending with me here in the studio. And I'm just excited and so thankful for all of you who have supported this platform, everybody who's listening, and everybody who's giving me feedback and really nice comments and just supporting. I just want to thank y'all so much. And if you really, really love this platform, please share it with someone. Share it with somebody. Tell people about it. Definitely go and subscribe on YouTube. Definitely go and listen on Apple Podcast. And just spread the word. I would really appreciate it. And I just want to keep doing some amazing shows with you guys, amazing guests. I love bringing on some of my friends, and over the years, I've just had so many great relationships and so many meaningful people in my life that to this day are just willing to come and share their experiences in their life in this industry, talk about their highs and their lows. And I just hope that it's helpful. I hope that someone out there that's listening to this or that's watching this can get something from it, that can learn something from this platform, from these shows. Today, I'm just going to talk to you guys. No guests today, just me. I had some things just in my mind about my life and in my career that I want to share with you guys and talk to you about some highs and some lows when it pertains to being in the music and entertainment industry. Um, a lot of people know my history who watch this, who are familiar with me know that, I spent 11 years of my life and career working for Fred Hammond and working for Face to Face and making amazing music and recording so many great records and meeting so many amazing artists and producers and engineers and background singers and management people, people who work for record companies. I had a great schooling, if you will, coming really straight out of high school. I had 1 year of community college before I jumped in full time working for Fred with Face to Face and touring the world. So I was 19 years old when I first started. So up until my almost 31st birthday, that was my life. And, I learned a lot. I learned a lot of things. I learned how to be a professional. I learned how to be an audio engineer. I learned what it meant to make quality music and present it to the masses. Working under someone like Fred Hammond it's almost a cheat code, really, because I got to see greatness in action all the time. So a lot of that stuff, thankfully, I learned and it rubbed off on me. And so I'm able to approach things in a way that are excellent, and I won't have it any less than excellent. So I'm grateful for that schooling, for that tutelage that I was able to get. And, I had to really, I put it like this, with the years that I spent traveling the world and making great music, like I said before, it was going so fast, very fast. It's a lot of things that I forgot that happened that I'm sure it'll come to mind and recall, and I'll be able to tell you guys stories after stories. But there's a lot of things that I've done and a lot of work that we did, and we grinded. It was a lot of work, a lot of we just put our head down and really just worked a lot. And I think I got to a point in my life where I was kind of feeling a burnout a little bit. I got married in 2007 to my beautiful wife, Lanisha, love you. And that changed a lot for me in my outlook on how I wanted to approach my life and career. And I would say like this: touring is definitely a young man's game. I love touring. I love being out on the road still, but it's different now. It's just a little bit different than how you do things when you're single and when you're younger, like in your 20s. So I got married. I was 27 years old when I got married, and things changed. I wanted to be around my wife more. I didn't like leaving her for extended amounts of time. We knew what's a necessary evil in what we do. We know that that's part of life, and thankfully, I'm so thankful for this for my wife that she has a father who's in the music industry, and she's been around the music industry her whole life. She's an amazing artist herself. Please support Lane Shea Music. You will be blessed. But she knew what it was like to be in the music industry, so that helped a lot in our relationship to this day still, but especially early on. But there did come a point where I felt I was missing something. I felt like I didn't really have a real identity. At least for me, I didn't know who I was. I could do a lot of really cool things. I was talented in certain areas, and I learned things that just gave me a lot of tools to be successful, but I didn't really know who I was. So there's coming a time like, okay, I'm choosing to make a pivot in my life, in my career. In 2011, I choose to basically bet on myself. Now, this is not disparaging anyone because it wasn't really about anybody else, but it was something that I had to do for me. And it was a hard and scary transition because although I didn't know what to expect, I thought that it was going to be different than how things turned out. So let me explain. So when you work with someone who is very high profile, and you kind of ride the wave or the wake of that notoriety or fame. So I'm known for being a support for someone else. And I think what happened was, I think I was a little prideful in the sense that I felt like my notoriety would help me to walk in any door that I walked through. And boy, was I wrong about that. And that was a hard pill to swallow. So in 2011, I bet on myself, right? I'm like, okay, I'm gonna test the waters. I'm gonna see what's out there. And man, when I tell you, the entire year of 2011, nobody called my phone for anything. Now, mind you, I told you, I thought that my phone was just going to ring off the hook. People going to find out, oh, he's available. He can do this. Oh, wow. I would love for you to come and play on this. I would love for you to come and tour on this. Or I would love for you to come and record on this or mix on this. When I tell you nobody called my phone, I was panicking. I didn't know. I told you I'm going through a discovery, like, who am I? I didn't know who I was. And so for a whole year having to deal with the reality that people, they weren't reaching out. And so the way I interpreted that was, man, maybe I'm not as good as I think I am. Maybe people don't really like me like I think they do. I'm having an existential crisis in my identity. I had to begin finding who I really am. And so I don't know, how many of you all who listen and watch this platform are Christians. I'm a Christian. I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. I'm a disciple of Jesus Christ. I love Jesus, and my life is His. I belong to Him, so I submit my life to Christ on a daily basis. That's how I try to live. So God had to walk me through some identity issues and some things that I was struggling with, some underlying issues that I didn't know I had in my life. So, like I said, nobody's calling my phone. So I'm basing my value on what I can do for other people. That's where I see where my value lies, is how other people see me. So God had to change that perspective in me. And the way He did it was very humbling, very humbling. So my wife and I, we decided to go to a new church here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I'm not going to name the church, but it's a very affluent church. It's a very, I say, try to say this the best way I can. It's a white Anglo predominantly church like that. Okay, so you get what I'm saying. So my wife and I are like some of the only few black families that are there at this church. So we start attending this church. Great church, by the way. Loved it right away, immediately. Just the word and everything about it was what we needed for that time in our life. So my wife and I decide that we're gonna get involved. We're gonna audition to be a part of the worship team. I'm gonna start volunteering on the tech team. And we just wanted to get involved because the church was pouring it into us so much. We were learning and growing so much spiritually that we felt it was time for us to begin giving back. And so I started volunteering for the tech team, for the sound audio ministry. And wouldn't you know it, they assigned me to run sound for the church. But there was a caveat. It was for a kid's room, third graders to be exact. So on the weekends, because they did church on Saturdays and Sundays, I was running the sound in a kid's room for third graders. Now, let me tell you why that's significant. Because I come off of being on this super high. I'm part of a Grammy Award winning album as an audio engineer. I'm working on these major projects, working with these major artists as an audio engineer. And now I'm running sound for third graders. That's a humbling experience right there. But God was trying to teach me something. He was trying to show me that my value is not in what I do, but my value is in who He says I am. And I had to learn throughout I'm still going through the process, still, but in that time from like 2011 to about 2015 as a whole, but really concentrated on the year 2011, 2012, I had to go through a process of learning and being okay with who I was as a person, who God called me to be as a person and not what I do. And so just humbling experiences of, like I said, doing audio, which is not a disparaging job. I was blessed to do that. That time was very important for me. I learned so much from serving in those rooms. But, the funny thing about it is once you're around people long enough, they start asking questions. They start seeing things like, wait a minute, you kind of know what you're doing. Like, what, tell me about yourself. And it didn't take long for people to start learning about me. Now, I'm not one to just go around talking about my accomplishments. I don't do that. I really shy away from it. I meet new people, and they'll learn about what I do sometimes days or weeks after we meet. And people are shocked, like, oh my goodness, I didn't know that you did all that. But that's one of the parts of my growth that I had to really embrace and let people know me before I lead with what I do. Because what I do is not who I am. My identity is not wrapped up in my occupation. But that took a lot of years to learn and a lot of years to be okay with. But once I learned that truth, I'm able to now be very free in what I do and be okay if people don't like what I do or don't like how I do things. They may not like the type of art that I do, or they may not like the way I express myself, but that's okay because I'm me. Nobody's like me. I do me. That's it. And to be in a place like that is so freeing. And so getting the chance to humble myself, really, and that's what was really going on. I had to humble myself and work in these rooms that some people would think as being less than, but it actually helped me to go further in my life and my career. Because not soon after that, I started getting calls. Coming into like 2012, I was getting called to do some major projects and some major tours, and things just start taking off over the next few years up until now. And I'm so grateful for the lessons that God had to teach me in order to be okay with who I am right now. And sometimes, we have to sometimes we have to bet on ourselves. We have to, but we can't be arrogant thinking that things are going to go a certain way how we think it should go. Because I guarantee you it never goes the way you think it should go. Never. I learned that. But it was the right way because at the end of the day, God is the one who made the pathway for me. He made the way straight. But it was not the way that I thought it would go. I thought it would be different. I thought it would be immediate success. I thought it would be immediate elevation just based on where I came from. But I was very arrogant and selfish in my thinking. God had to humble me and to show me, no, I need you to work some of these things out of your heart before I take you to these new levels. And I just want to encourage anyone who's listening to this, anyone who's watching this, if you have dreams and you have that ambition to be at a certain place, I want to submit to you this. Submit that to God. Give that to Him and say, Lord, this is where I want to be, but I want to do it your way. And I guarantee you, it's going to go a way that you don't expect. But it's all going to work out in a way it's supposed to. And so that has been my life, is having those dreams and desires, wanting to be godly ambition, but that's submitting it to Him. And now, where I am in my life right now, I'm so grateful because God has blessed me to be able to do what I love to do, to be able to have had a career in this music industry for 25 years is a miracle in itself. There's been a lot of highs, there's been a lot of lows, but I'm still here. I'm still doing it and doing it at a high level. And I'm so grateful for that. And y'all, this type of life can be done. If but you got to do it the right way. You got to consider other people. You got to help others. If you're not willing to help others in their dreams, then there's not going to be any room for God to put the people in your life to help you with your dreams. So if there's anything that I want you guys to take away from this, if there's anything I want you to take away from this, is just trust God, trust his process, and really dig in to who he says you are. Dig into your identity that is not tied to what you do. And that could be anything. Whether you're a firefighter, whether you're an accountant, a nurse, a doctor, whatever, your identity is not tied to what you do. There's value in who you are as a person. And what you do, you're able to put who you are in what you do, and that's what makes you unique. And we are all uniquely and wonderfully made in the image of God. And that's the way I want to live my life, is to be an image bearer for God in this world, this entertainment world that I work in. Like, there's room and space for that. To be in places where you wouldn't expect God to be, but he's there because I'm there. And I'm not saying that arrogantly, it's just knowing, like, I know who I am. But that the guy I was back in pre-2011, I couldn't do that because I didn't know who I was. I would conform to what other people said I should be. So there had to be a desert experience in order for me to handle what God is giving me right now. This platform, I couldn't do this back then because I didn't know who I was. But now I can talk about different times of my life, different life experiences in this career, and do it in a way where there's no bitterness, there's no type of negative emotions. It's just memories and recollections and experiences that I can share with you guys in order to bless you. And so that's what I wanted to share with you guys, man, today. You know, like I said, no guest today, but I wanted to just chop it up with y'all and share some wisdom if I could. And I'm just thankful again for all of you guys who are tuning in, who are sharing this content. Thank you so much. I can't do this without you. I want to grow this thing as big as God would allow it, but I do need y'all's help to do that. All I need you to do is like, share, subscribe, tell people about this. Hit me up on social media at Darius Fentress on IG and Facebook. Let me know who you want on the show. I got some great guests lined up, guys. Let me tell you, some amazing people lined up, and I can't wait to let you guys know who they are. People with some amazing stories, amazing wisdom, and how to navigate this industry. Even if you're not in the music entertainment industry, I hope that, you know, these stories help encourage you to just to have a little background of what goes on, you know, in this world. And I'm so thankful again, y'all. Let's keep going on this journey with me. I appreciate y'all, and I will see y'all next time here in the studio with me, Darius Fentress. Peace.